keeps us up. Edaras one. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Your health is your wealth, no one can deny. It keeps you alive. Hey, hey. Your health is your wealth. It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. No one can debate. It keeps you alive. Our health is our wealth. It keeps us surviving. Us one.
The elderly are the source of wisdom, experience, and stability in a world that is constantly changing. That is why the love, care, and attention we give to them is a measure of our humanity. I'm going to be using this codes to welcome us to another wonderful edition of Health Plus right here at omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. My name is omoluwabi, your wonderful host that drives you through Health Plus. And what are we going to be talking about today? We are going to be talking about how we take care of our elderlies. Yes, we have our elderly ones at home, our mommies, our daddies. Most of them are retired. Most of them once they are retired, they just want to they want to look for something else doing and not just sitting at home, waking up and eating, so that they'll just keep being active all the time because they have been used to that activeness and they don't want to just sit back home and just keep on resting. And once you notice all those kind of things, like okay, maybe you have your mom is a retired person. I mean, they've just retired from work and they are just sitting at home doing nothing. They tend to complain like they are having this kind of problem. Then they'll start coming up with different ailments, and you start wondering like when you were working, there was no issue. Why isn't that now that you are retired, that maybe you are retired and the likes, and you start having a different kind of symptoms, and you're just complaining of this, complaining of that, complaining of that? So that is what we are going to be talking about today on Health Plus. But before I go right into the topic of discussion, Health Plus is a program whereby we talk about how to take care of our health, body, soul, and spirit to keep it one. And on this Health Plus, we have three different segments. I have the discussion segment, I have the news segment also, where I'm going to be telling you what is happening, what is going on the health decks, and I also have the health tips that I'm going to be giving you on how to take care of your body. And the tips I'm going to be giving you today is a very interesting one that you are going to love. So go nowhere, just sit back, get your notepad and your pen, and you'll learn one or two things from this edition.
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Your health is your wealth. No one can.
Okay, I said that I'm going to be talking about how we can take care of our elderlies, and with me in the house, I have a wonderful guest in the house that is going to be doing justice to that topic. And with me in the house is Nurse Joy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me here.
Oh, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Okay. So, before I bring in my guest, before I start asking a series of questions, I have some things that I'm going to be discussing with us about before I go right into the discussion of the day. Okay, the increase in the number and proportion of the elderly will have a direct impact on the need for health care, income, and social security payments. And the increase in the number of the elderly could promote abuse towards the elderly. It is relevant. Its prevalence is seen increase globally. By 10% of the elderly experience some of this form of abuse. In these times of neglect and abuse, it is important to remember the public about elderly care and to safeguard their rights. Our elderly also has their rights. They have a legal right that they can also express. The old people often have limited limited abilities and are more susceptible to illness and injuries than the younger ones. They face social problem related to retirement, loneliness, and age. And like I said, like once they are retired, they feel lonely, they feel bored, they don't want to stay at home alone because they believe like it is all going to be somehow. It's like they are just dying. That's how they will be feeling. So to avoid all these, what can we do to help them adjust with what is going on? What can we do to help them adjust with their aging also? The number of elderly people worldwide began to surge in the second half of the 20th century. In developed countries before then, 5 or less percent of the population was over 65. Few lived longer than their 70s, and people who attained average age, which is 80s, were rare enough to be notable and were reversed as wise stage. Elderly care emphasized the social and personal requirements of senior citizens who wish to age with dignity while needing assistance with daily activities with their health care. Elderly care includes a broad range of practice and instruction, as there is a wide variety of elderly care needs and cultural perspective on the elderly throughout the world. Everybody has their different ways of taking care of their elderly ones. You see someone, you discuss with someone and they'll tell you like, this is how I take care of my mom, this is how I take care of my dad, this is the checkup they go for. And some will be like, they don't need to go for any checkup now, they are just fine. In as much they're not complaining anything to me, their health is there, they are eating well, they are sleeping well, and that is all. But no, there is more to add up to it. So my guest in the house is going to be doing justice to how you can take care of your elderly ones to keep them away from any form of illness they might be going through. But the first question I'm going to be asking my guest today is, what is the word elderly?
To many people, elderly is also referred to as seniors. You can call them seniors.
Senior citizens?
No, they are just seniors.
Okay.
Yes, you can either call them elderly, the old age, or the seniors. So for the elderly are individuals above 60 years of age, 60, 65 and above.
Okay.
Yes, and we have different type of elderly. So some people, they think elderly is only when it's about 85 years old above. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have some young old, which
Okay.
is 60 or 65 to 74 years,
Okay.
and we also have the middle old.
Okay.
Yes, the middle old is just between the age of 75 to 84. Then we have the proper old and old individuals. Those are from range of 85 and above. Yes, those are the common individual set of individuals that they are called old people in the society, but it's just from 60 and above. Yes.
Okay. So you made mention of the middle old.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's age range is that one?
For the middle old, the age range is from 75 to 84 years old.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. So now I'm going to be asking you, what are the most significant challenges faced by elderly individuals, and how can these challenges be how can they be tackled?
Oh, okay. For majority of the elderly ones, they face a lot of challenges. Majorly the physical challenge, the sexual challenge, and the emotional challenge, and also the mental challenge as well. Yes. So for the physical challenge, there are some individuals with some medical conditions. It might be diabetes and it might be hypertension. So majority of them, when they get old, they might have what we call stroke. That's paralysis of some parts of the body. Yes. So there are some other individuals too that have cognitive issues. That's the mental aspect. They feel lonely. They feel as if they are isolated. Yes, and they feel depressed also because they feel like they can't communicate. They can't do things they've been able to do
even though they
in
are
the past.
communicating with people.
Yes, they feel they can't do things they've been able to do in the past. Yes.
Okay.
And I mentioned about the sexual aspect. For the adults, the old age, they think they are sexually declined. Yes, that they can't really practice sexual relationship with
the way they were before.
Yes. And then for the physiological, there are some challenges they have. They are prone to fall because there are some adults that their walking step and their gait has issues, so they might not be able to balance well when they are walking. So they are prone to fall, they are prone to fractures and a lot of things like that.
Okay, so how do we address all these issues?
for adults, we encourage majorly they need support system, because they need people to communicate with, they need people to have a proper companionship
Ship.
in years, they need companion, and they need people to help them with their activities
It is
of
the
daily
locomotion,
living.
moving
Yes,
from one place to
moving,
another.
bathing, feeding. Some people even need people to prepare their meals
Meals
for
for them.
them. Yes, and there are some, I mentioned about the young old,
Old, yeah.
yes, and the middle old. For people in that range, they are still independent, they can do things themselves, and they are mobile, they
You
can
mean
cook.
you made people from age 60
Yes,
to
60
70.
to 70. Yes, they are
Okay.
still independent. They are still agile a bit, and they can do some minimal activities and
Activities.
exercise. But from the age of 85 above, some experience sleep disturbances. Some might find it difficult to sleep, and some might also find it difficult to remember or recognize some people.
People.
Yes, so for these people, we need some assistive device for them. Yes, they might need eyeglasses, they might need regular checkup, they might need people to prepare their meals for them as well, and they also need to find a schedule, nutritional schedule, and a way to ensure proper sleep.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. Thank you very much. Okay, so when you talked about people staying around them, is it compulsory they are family member, or they can just maybe hire someone to just be around them? And staying around them, does it mean the person has to be living with them all the time, or maybe just like say from morning till evening, then once the person is done in the evening goes back home? Or is it someone that has to stay with them, and must the person also be a family member or someone from the outside?
Oh, okay, it's not compulsory. The individual should be a family member or a close relation. So it's possible you can get house help, can get housemaid, and we call some people carers. They are caregivers.
Caregivers.
Yes, and it depends on the preference and the financial ability of that individual. If you can employ an individual to stay with them 24 hours, it is fine. And if you can get individual to switch, there might be two, yes, to stay with them, just to help them with the activities like washing, cooking, and other things. And you can also get assistive device for them like television, radio, to keep
To just keep them
busy.
company.
Yes, especially the people that are very old, that's from 85 above.
Above.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So how can we promote healthy aging and prevent age-related disease? Because, like you made mention, you said some of these people, the more they grow older, there are a lot of ailments that attacks them, that comes into their body system because of their age and the likes. So how can we prevent? How can we promote? And prevent all these ailments.
Yeah, the prevention starts from the young adulthood. That's when you are still young, the youthful age.
Like
Yes,
what
you
age?
You prepare for adulthood,
Okay.
elderly,
Okay.
when it's about from 25 years, when you start getting when you get to the adolescent and the adult
Adult
stage.
age.
Yes, from 25 to the about 50, you prepare for the old age. That's when you tell people to ensure that they get adequate nutrition, you take enough water, you go for regular checkup. So there are some individuals that have some background ailment, like I've said, like hypertension and diabetes. Yes. So to prepare for the elderly, because it's possible there might be complication when it reaches that stage if you don't manage
It
them
properly.
very well. Yes. So to prepare for a good aging, because for some individuals they think aging is a bad state. They feel very sad.
They feel very scared.
Yes,
Yes.
and they are depressed because they are aging.
Aging.
But aging is actually a good thing, and you can also help a good aging when you go for regular checkup, majorly regular checkup, and you practice moderate exercise, and you also give yourself a peace of mind. Yes, actually peace of mind, so that you will not develop a lot of complications when you start reaching the elderly stage.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. In case you are just joining in, us, it is Health Plus right here at Omoluwabi Radio. It is 7.7 FM with your wonderful host, Ebonoluwa Adubo. And what is our topic of discussion for today? We are talking about how we can properly take care of our elderly ones. And like Nurse Joya said, she said we have the young age, we have the middle age, and we have the elderly, the old
Yes.
age. So you don't have to be scared like, hey, I'm getting older, I'm this. No, just accept it like, okay, because the more you are getting older, people will come to you and seek for advice. And And if we are saying that we don't want our elderly ones, or we don't want to even be around our elderly ones, or we don't want our elderly ones around us, definitely we are also coming to that stage, because the more we grow, the older we become. Okay, don't go anywhere. It's still on Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. I'll be going on this short break, and when we are back, Health Plus continues right here at Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM.
It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. No one can debate. It keeps you alive.
Woo! Vegetables, they're really good. They'll give you energy. You should eat them in a meal 3 times a day. Carrots, broccoli, spinach, even peas. Look at all the colors. It's what you need. Healthy eating makes you wanna dance. Clap your hands and jump around and say, yes, I can. Healthy eating makes you really strong. Your brain and body will really get along. Fruits, they're really yum and taste so sweet. They have lots of vitamins. It's really great. Apples, bananas, and strawberries. Eating them will help keep the doctor away. Healthy eating makes you wanna dance. Clap your hands and jump around and say, yes, I can. Healthy eating makes you really strong. Your brain and body will really get along. Come on, hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza. Oh yeah, cookies, cakes, and ice.
You know that health is wealth and ital is vital. They're not just some
All right, welcome back from the short break. It is still Health Plus right here at Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM. And the topic of discussion today is how we can take care of our elderly ones. My name is Omoluwabi Adubu, and I'm having my wonderful guests in the house here that we are doing justice to the discussion. Yeah, in case you want to join us live on Facebook, yes, we are live on Facebook at Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. We are live on Facebook at Omoluwabi 87.7 FM. And you can drop your comments, you can drop your questions, whatever questions you are having, we are going to be attending to it right on spot. Okay, so while discussing, I have some questions here, and I'm going to be asking you. I'm going to be doing justice to them before I go right into what is on the health decks. Again, before I go right into what is in the health decks, what are the best practices for creating a supportive living environment for the senior citizens? I'll call them the senior citizens because they are older, they are aged people, and yeah, they are senior citizens, and we the children, we are the junior citizens. Okay, so how can we actually, what are the best practices for creating a supportive living for them? Because you said that we should give them care, we should be around them always, we should take them for medical checkups. Are these only the ways we can actually give them support in their living, in their balancing? Because you know, most of them, they are retired, and some of them are not. They'll even be like, I don't want to retire, I just want to keep working.
Exactly. For the old ones, we have a lot of support system we can actually engage in. The first thing is just you can get home assisted device to make the home comfortable and okay for them and safe from any accident. The first thing, you can apply rails on the walls, and you can ensure that you apply some non-slippery floor surface equipment.
Okay.
You can, for example, you can use a rug, and you can use some other non-slippery fabrics on the floor. So, and the other thing is that you should ensure that the things they need are kept closer to them, especially on the bed. And you can also get them a call bell. No, most of the time the carer might not be in the room with them, and at times they have issues with voice, so you can get a call bell for them. And you can also get some home tele-health service for them to maintain their regular checkup
Checkup.
as well. Yes, because there are some individuals with stroke and you might not be able to carry them to the hospital
Hospital.
often. Yes, so you can get all those things for them. And the major thing is you ensure that the house is very safe. You avoid the spilling of
Water.
liquid water, lots of wraps of nylon, a lot of things like that can prone them to fall. And you can also get walking aid for them, like walking stick. Yes, you can get walking stick for them. And for individuals with eyesight problem, you can get them glasses as well. And then for individuals with hearing problem, you can get hearing aid.
aids
Yes,
for
hearing
them.
aid for them. So these are the major common things you can use for the assistive device. Then for the companionship, we encourage people to get house help or housemate or carer, and you can also take them to care homes so that you can meet with other old
Old people
individuals.
and
Yes,
interact.
yes. So they can engage in a lot of things like games, communication. They might also find love
Love.
there. Yes.
Hmm.
So, and for the sexual aspect, if they are still out there and they feel they are fit to practice
Practice.
sexual intimacy, there is reduction in the libido for women, and there might be dryness also. So you can encourage them to get some vaginal lubricant, so to enjoy, to aid the sexual intimacy process as well. So they can engage in sexual intercourse if they are fit. There is no restriction for that.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, all right. Okay, so we are having a question on Facebook from Favor Owa. He said most elderly around always have body or bad body odor. How can it be managed and what is the cause?
For bad odor, I think bad odor is not restricted to the elderly ones. Yes, there are some middle-aged individuals with bad odor as well. I feel this is about personal hygiene
Hygiene.
majorly. Yes, as I've said, for the old, there are some individuals with some urinary problem. Might be incontinent, that is they can't control the urination. So it's possible there might be some slight odor from that. But if there is proper personal hygiene, especially the bathing, the clothing, the brushing, or everything about the personal hygiene, if it's well taken care of, and they, for adults, they can use deodorant as well. Is not limit if they are not allergic to it.
To it, okay.
Yes, and if they cannot apply that to the body, you can use that in the room or in the house as
Like
well.
air freshener,
Yes, air
just to make
freshener,
everywhere
yes,
smell
yes.
nice.
And ensure their clothes is washed as often as possible. Minimum of 2 days. You can put on a clothes for minimum of 2 days, yes, and you change them. And ensure they change their underwears and everything they use, they put on. So that will help to minimize the body odor, yes. But if they take care of themselves well, most of adults, they won't have any body odor.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
So, what role do caregivers play in elderly care, and how can we support them? Because most people, once they get a caregiver for their parents or for their elderly ones, they tend to leave their parents to the aid of the
Yes,
caregiver, and
caregiver.
just be like, let me just be sending money to her, to mommy once every month, and pay the caregiver, and that is and next like, mommy, are you okay? I'm fine. The person that got you, hope she's taking care of you. Hope he's taking care. He's taking care, and that is the end of it. They don't even bother checking.
For caregivers, let me just say in the literary form, for house helps, is beyond help. It encapsulates a lot of things. That's taking them for regular checkup. Yes, bathing them if they are the old elderly ones, because for the other aspect, that's the middle and the young, they are still fit and they can still practice some. They can do some activities
themselves.
Yes.
That's
So
true.
the caregiver is just for there to assist them. If there are some activities they can do themselves, we encourage them to do it themselves, so they won't become lonely.
burden.
Yes, yes, and they won't become dependent.
Dependent.
Yes. So if they can brush, if they can still take their baths themselves, we encourage them to do that. While the house help should just ensure that they take adequate nutrients, that's the balanced meal, and you ensure that they help them with companionship. It's not just getting into the house, just prepare the meal or take care of their physical hygiene. It also involves communication with the elderly. Yes, because most of the time they are depressed, they are lonely, and
Even though having someone around them.
yes, yes.
Wow.
even if you are with them and you don't talk to them, you don't communicate with them, they feel depressed naturally. So they just feel like they want someone to just communicate with them, share love, ask them how their day is, and a lot of things. So it's beyond the normal help of washing, assisting them with caregiving, and also with medication. Some are on medication, so they might also assist in giving them their medication, ensure that they take their medication appropriately, and they can also help them to contact their caregivers as well. Maybe that is the doctor or the nurses or the hospital, and it will also help them to safeguard their health. For some adults, if they for individual with stroke, it might happen suddenly. So if there's no individual with them, such
It's
adults might
might
end up
to
dying
them.
in the house and without anybody knowing. So if there is caregiver around them, the individual can alert the hospital or the carer for such an adult. Yes.
Okay. All right. So when you were when you were answering the previous question, you said we should get them some technological device like the radio, the TV, and the likes. So now my question is, how can technology improve the care of the elderly? Because you'd be like, what do they want to see on the TV?
Yes.
Or like, okay, let's even say, okay, radio, they will still listen, they will still get some programs
And they
that
are
will
familiar with that.
that will get make
Yes.
them like, but going to the extent of getting them a TV, like how do that help in their care, in their health, in taking care of them?
Yeah, it keep them engaged actually, because when they watch the TV or listen to news or other things, they might find things interesting, especially for the movies. If they watch movie, that will keep them enlightened. They will be in an elated mood as well. And for the news, they'll be able to get things around and things happening in the environment. And also for the technology, it's not just limited to television, radio. There's a new inventing now.
Innovation.
Yes, invention that is called the smart home device.
Okay.
So if for some adults that are literate, or even there are some that are not literate but with caregivers, they can apply the smart home devices in their house. So with that, they can use that to perform a lot of activities even without the house help. So such smart home device can help them with switching on the television, the radio, and a lot of things like that. So it's not only about the physical aspect, also the emotional aspect. It will keep them engaged and they will be happy. At least it will take care of the depressive mood,
Part.
yes, and the isolation and the reduced feeling that they don't have anybody to talk to. So at least if they are watching the movie, they will try to communicate with the
The
TV,
TV.
even if it's not right there with them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So talking about isolation. So how can we address the social isolation? Because now that we've talked about the isolation in the house, in the home. What about them going to the public place and addressing the social isolation and loneliness in an elderly population?
Yes, for elderly, we advise their caregivers and their family to take them out. Even if they have some ailment like stroke or other things, we encourage them to take them for to recreation centers.
Okay.
Yes, take them out, take them on a date. You can also take them for
Take an elderly person on a date.
yes.
Okay.
Yes, it can be for a mother. Date is not actually for the loved ones, or maybe like people in relationship.
Okay.
It can also be for the family.
Hmm.
Yes, and
Family hangouts.
yes, and there's something called the elderly services. There's a home for that where they meet a lot of other
Elderly people.
yes, so they can connect two elderly ones together. So and take them on a date and have fun and interact with each other. So for the community, we need the elderly ones because their wisdom, their experience, yes, we need
yes.
all those things also to benefit the community. So for the community, we have to embrace the elderly ones. We should not just chastise them or see them as if they are old school, the way we call them. So we have to incorporate them in a lot of events happening in the community. That
To
is
keep them
active,
updated.
yes, active participation. Yes, if you have any event, if you have any campaign, any carnival, anything going on in the environment, you can have a section for the elderly ones too. At least if you just game, we have a lot of games that the elderly ones are interested in. They can
Yeah, sure.
participate
Great.
in that, and it will keep them more engaged.
Okay, all right, thank you for that. So, what are the benefits and challenges of aging in places versus assisted living facilities?
Well, for adults, if they are aging in a particular place they are familiar with, it is less stressful for them, and it is easy to cope and adapt. But for individuals that are aging in a different location, maybe because they are aging, they took them to a new location, to geriatric home, care home, it takes a while for them to adapt to that setting, and it depends on individual preference. Some people might end up relapsing if they are taken from a place they are used to. So we have to know the peculiarity of a particular adult, that it works for this adult doesn't mean it will work for another person. So if a care home works for an elderly individual, you should also ask the other individual, that is care home an option for you? So if you are open to that, then when they are taken to such places, they will easily interact and mix with other elderly ones, yes, in that area. Then for some individuals with major health conditions, the challenges is that there might be severity in the condition if it's not well taken care of, and there might be complications. So for hypertension, there might be stroke as a complication. So the individual might end up staying a long period in the hospital, depending on the type of and the severity of the stroke. Yes, and for individuals with diabetes as well, there might be challenges. They will not be able to give themselves injections and all those things because of the muscle tremor and all those things. So they might have challenge with that. And for some adults, they feel as if they are disturbing their support system, calling them to do this for them
because they've been independent for a long time, and now
so now they now have to depend on other people to do such things for them. And at times they have the feeling that they don't have to speak out. So, and for some adults, they might not communicate properly. So it's also a challenge for them, and they might not recognize some individuals, because with some individuals there is something called loss of memory for some adults, and some also have some disease conditions that causes amnesia, that is the loss of memory for them. So they might not be able to recognize their family members, and they might not be able to recognize the carers. So to communicate with them is challenging at that point because of that experience for them. And then for some, it's very uncomfortable for them to use glasses, to use hearing aid. So they feel depressed as if they are not complete. So they feel as if they are not complete. So like, I've been without hearing aid and
for
glasses
a very long time. So why will I be using it now?
Yes, and some feel a bit shy to go out, to go to parties, maybe because of their wrinkled skin or because of their sight problem. So they feel they will not be able to go out to parties and engage in a lot of fun, and activities.
Okay, all right. So when you were talking, you made mention of some people love getting aged in their particular location where they are based, and some people, because of the ailments or so, maybe they're in the hospital and they are staying there for a longer period of time, they tend to they tend to get aged at that particular place. But there are some people that, even though getting aged in a particular place and they are used to that place, they still find it difficult to access most of those things around them. Like, maybe a particular an elderly person is aged in a particular location, and the person steps in and we're like, no, now this thing is not here, and they'll start arguing with you like, mom, it is here. They'll start arguing with you like it was not there before, and you're telling them that it has been there since. It's even you that placed it there. What could be the cause? And how can we address that?
For aging, as an individual age, there is regression in some parts of the body system, depending on the way the body has been used before that old age. So there are some individuals that has a forgetting habit or a forgetting personality. As they grow old, they tend to forget a lot of things.
Okay, so what you're trying to say now is that forgetfulness starts from while they were young?
No, it's based on aging. As they age. There is tendency that they might have loss of memory. That's causing the forgetfulness. Yes. So they might not be able, it might be short term, it might be long term. So they might not be able to remember things that happened within 15 to 20 minutes ago. And they might be able to remember things that have happened years ago.
Back.
Yes. And for some individuals, they can't remember things that happened years back, but they can remember things that happen within short period of time. So, and these things cause issues between the carer, it might even be the family. Yes, and some will be like, okay, I'm used to this environment. Maybe because of poor sight, they might be seeing a different thing entirely. They might be seeing a different color. Why is entirely something different?
else.
So when you're trying to explain to them, they might not really be able to grab and understand from your own perspective as well. So for adults, you just need patience and understanding. We need to understand that this comes with aging, so you don't have to fight with them. So you just have to explain to them. And there might be some adults that they might be we call something a denial stage. They might feel as if, no, I'm not in the old age, I'm still in the youth age. So they don't want to accept that,
and they want
are
to do
already
things
growing.
themselves.
Yes, and you can see some individuals that they even go to the extent of getting some hormonal therapy and a lot of things to keep their body fit, as if they are still in the young or the adolescent stage. So all those things is just based on individual personality. If that it happens to a certain group of adults, doesn't mean it will happen to all the old age. Yes, so for some set of people, they might have experience with that forgetfulness. It might be due to some neurological conditions or some underlying disease. Yes, why some might not experience that because they don't have the traits to show or exhibit that kind of symptoms of adult old age.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, while you were talking earlier, I picked out some points. You said there are activities, there are exercise activities that the adults, the elderly ones, can still do. So I
Yes.
want you to make mention of some of those easy exercise, because there are some that will be like, mom, yeah, do this exercise. You'll be like, and let me do this one. And you'll be telling them that this is the one you're supposed to. They'll tell them that no, it is that one that it seems a little bit difficult. And you'll be like, you are getting old now. Take it easy on your old. And they'll tell you, like, just like you said, like they are denying the fact that they are getting old, or they are
Exactly.
even old already.
Yes,
And they'll tell you that what you as a youth can do, I can do it better. And they'll start arguing with you. So I want you to list out some examples of exercise, the easy exercise they can actually practice in the home.
I will start with the severity of that exercise, because we have moderate, we have severe exercises.
Okay.
So for the old, the seniors, the elderly ones, we encourage them to do a moderate exercise that is within their ability. So if you feel you are not fit to carry out some exercise, that it is recommended for elderly ones, doesn't mean you should go
do
into
it.
it. So there are some examples of walking. You can walk,
Okay.
and you can also swim. For I talked about the middle, the young.
Yes.
So if you are around that middle and young, you are still fit and independent. So you can practice swimming, you can practice jogging, you can walk, and you can even dance. Dancing is also an exercise.
Sure.
Yes. And you can also shake your body. It's not even about dancing might be rigorous a bit, but you can just stretch your leg, stretch your hand, and move from one point to the other, even within the house. Yes, even within the house. And you can allow them to walk majorly in the morning or in the afternoon, not in the evening, rather, not during the sun, but when at least the sun,
weather is cool.
when the weather is cool. So it's either in the morning or in the evening. So, and they should also check their body system before engaging in any exercise, because there are some individuals with high blood pressure, and they should not go into exercises like running or jogging because of their health. So the major thing is they can walk. If they can still ride bicycle, they can do cycling, and they can do swimming, and they can also do the jogging, as I've said. So it depends on the ability of
the
that
individual.
Yes, majorly.
Okay.
Yes.
So you talked about nutrition also.
Yes.
So are there any specific food that the aged one, the adults, can eat, or they can
Yes.
just go for any general food? Not now. I want you to break down that the aspect of the nutrition in their aspects of ailments, because
Okay.
you know that for people with diabetes, they
Yes.
must not take something that is too sugary or that is having a very high level of sugar and the other and the likes. Okay.
Yes, for the major ailment that is common to the adult, as I've said earlier, is hypertension, and depending on the family history, some might have diabetes, and some might also be at risk of course. Some might have fracture along the line, and some might develop a lot of issues with kidney or liver, all those things. So for individuals with hypertension majorly, we advise them on low salt diet. That is, and low condiments. It is all those condiments that you apply to the food, you have to reduce them. Yes, so and you ensure that they take adequate water. But for the elderly ones, we encourage them to take water between morning to around 7 p.m. So that at least by the time they sleep, the urination, the number of urination that they will have, yes, will be minimal. So if they take water to around 9 p.m., they might wake up frequently to go to the toilet. Yes. So we recommend that they take lesser water at night and take adequate water during the day. And they can also take about 6 to 8 packets of water or cups of water during the day. That is the minimum. They can take more than that. Then for individuals with other ailments, we ensure that they have adequate sleep. They need to sleep. And at least for some individuals, they have issues with, as I've said, sleep disturbance. Some might have inability to sleep, and some might sleep excessively, depending on the individuals. So, but this excessive sleep is still okay, but for the lack of sleep is the it's cause for concern. So they should also ensure that they have adequate sleep, majorly in the night. So at least the body can freshen up, can relax and regenerate and refreshing itself. Yes. So for individuals with kidney issues, liver issues, all those things, it's also the same prevention tips for individual with hypertension as well. But it depends on the type of liver condition, kidney condition, because there are some, if they have swelling feet, leg, there might be restriction in their water intake. Yes. And there are some that might have restriction in their protein intake also, if they have some other kidney issues that has a lot of acidic content in their body system. Yes, so they might reduce proteinous intake. So we just encourage them to go for regular checkup. It's not important you go to the hospital often. You can have doctor to visit you at home to check your body system as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Okay, what are some misconceptions, some common misconceptions about aging and the elderly care?
We have a lot of misconceptions actually, but I'll just mention a few. The first thing is about the sexual aspects. They feel like if you are an elder one, if you are reaching the old stage, you are not sexually active. Or maybe you can't practice sexual intercourse. Sexual intercourse is not limited, it's not age limited. So if you are fit, you can practice. It's just that you just have to ensure that you practice according to your strength. Yes. So, but that's the first. And there are some that they feel like if you're an adult, you have all adults. They have forgetfulness. They have eye problem. They have hearing problem. It's not all adults or all old individuals. Yes, old age people that have such conditions. There are a lot of old age individuals without eyesight problems, without hearing problem, without walking problem. So it depends on the background condition of those individuals. And for some people, they believe that once they reach the elderly age, they are limited to a lot of things to do. They can't do things at least like going out for parties because of their skin. They feel like they can't do a lot of things they've done before, have fun, go to parties, all those things. So there is no restriction for adults. If you can go to parties, you're welcome. If you can go for all those any function, you can go. But just ensure that you don't stress yourself a lot, so that you will not end up collapsing at that function. So, and a lot of people believe that old age is just when you are 80 above. Old age, according to WHO, old age starts from 60 upward. So just that the level of dependency just differs. Yes. So they should not categorize old age as individuals with 80 above. So that's not just it.
Okay, all right. Thank you for that. Okay, we'll be going on a commercial break now, and when we are back, Health Plus still continues right here at Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 FM.
Your health is your wealth. No one can debate. It keeps you alive. Our health is our wealth. It keeps us surviving. There is one. Your health is your wealth. Hey, hey. It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. No one can deny. It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. Hey, hey. It keeps you alive. Our health is our wealth. It keeps us up. There is one. Oh, 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 oh. 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 Your health is your wealth. No one can deny. It keeps you alive. Hey, hey. Your health is your wealth. It keeps you.
Hello?
Hello there. I'm at the hospital right now because the kills are seriously ill. I've been on a long queue and the doctor is here to attend to me. I don't know what to do again.
You know what? How about the numbers I gave you while leaving?
Oh, the e-doctor numbers?
Yes.
Call them right away. They will attend to you immediately.
Hello?
Darling, just like magic. Junior is playing. Even Princess is eating like an adult.
You know I've told you to calm down. Our family is covered with e-doctor premium plan. With eDoctor, you have access to healthcare at your fingertips. Stop wasting your productive hours while waiting in the clinic for doctor. Subscribe today to any of eDoctor plans and enjoy online chat and call consult, laser therapy, medical outreach, and home care services. Simply dial 0704-714-2000 or 0701-000-8670. Log on to www.edoctor.com or visit us at eDoctor, number 2 Ocean Street, New Bodija, Ibadan. eDoctor, inspiring wellness.
At break time, when my champ needs to keep going, he's going to need his favorite snack, made with the goodness of malt, milk, cocoa, and crunchy Niger-grown maize, containing calcium, iron, and fiber.
Break time is crunch time. So give your champs this delicious crunchy delight to keep them winning all day. Milo and a snacks, snack of future champions.
Cholera is a deadly disease that spreads through contaminated water and poor hygiene. Say no to germs with Hypo. Disinfect your home and drainages with Hypo bleach. Wash hands frequently. Stop open defecation. Wash your toilets with Hypo toilet cleaner. Together, we can prevent the spread of cholera.
Without you, there will be no us. Thank you for listening. Omoluwabi 87.7 FM, the voice of integrity.
Thank you for the happiest year of my life. Thank you for the happiest year of my life.
Your health is your wealth. Hey, hey. It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. No one can deny. It keeps you alive. Your health is your wealth. Hey, hey. It keeps you alive. Our health is our wealth. It keeps us up. There is one. Oh, 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 oh. 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 Your health is your wealth.
Yeah, welcome back from that commercial break. It is still Omoluwabi Radio 87.7 101.7 FM right here, and the program is Health Plus. Okay, now moving on to the health decks for the health news. My first news here says Nigeria cannot achieve 30% reduction in malnutrition by 2025, says nutritionist. Citing worsening poverty and food insecurity in the country, nutrition experts have said Nigeria will not be able to achieve the 2016 National Policy on Food and Nutrition target of reducing malnutrition by 30% in 2025, especially among children under 5. The nutritionist maintained that the country was not on the path of achieving the goals of the policy, which would cease to exist after the next year. They lamented that since the first National Food and Nutrition Policy was launched in 2001, the government had continued to fail in achieving its goal of reducing the malnutrition burden in the country, especially among children under aged 5. With less than a year remaining before the expiration of the second nutrition policy, the experts cautioned that without increased funding and strong political will on the part of the government, the 2025 targets would still be a mirage like the former. Another news here says federal government warns 22 states FCT of heavy rain flood. The federal government has predicted heavy rain in 22 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The two predictions were issued separately by the National Flood Early Warning System Center of the Federal Ministry of Environment. The first flood prediction stated that the identified locations and their environments are likely to witness heavy rainfall that may lead to flood without prediction period from August 30 to September 3rd, 2024. And the last news I'm having here from the health deck says resident doctors suspend warning strike. The Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, has directed its member to resume work following a 7-day warning strike embarked upon by its member over the adoption of their colleague, Dr. Ganiyat Popola. NARD, however, said it would reveal the federal government's commitment to resolving its demand in the next 3 weeks. Speaking, the president, Dr. Dele Abdullahi, said, "We are suspending the strike now. We will be meeting to review the progress and the government has made in the next 3 weeks." Okay, so before we go, Nurse Joey, what do you have to say about e-doctors taking care of? Do e-doctor also have anything to do with taking care of the elderly?
Yes, we take care of the elderly in the aspect of their conditions. If you have hypertension, if you have diabetes, you can call on us for home service or for regular checkup. It might be in the office. Okay. You can book for consultation with us and you come to our office, or you also ask us to come to your house. Okay. And we can also, I talked about telehealth the other time also. You can contact us on virtually through the online call and chat services. Okay. So you can just call us if you have any complaint, if you have any observation, if you have any question about your health, if you have any inquiry regarding health, you can call us to us and we will answer all your health concerns and inquiries.
Okay, so what are the numbers to reach out to if we want to reach out to you?
So if you want to reach out to e-doctor for any question, any inquiry regarding health related issues or anything about health, you can reach out to us via this number 070 1000 8670. I will come again 070 10 00 8670. You can also reach out to us on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on X, on Thread via the name e-doctor as well.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay, this is where we'll be wrapping up the show today on Health Plus right here. And before we go, I'll be leaving us with this quote from Karen Clark that says, "The beauty of caring for senior is realizing that they are heroes in their own right." The beauty of caring for seniors is realizing that they are heroes in their own right. That's what Karen Clark said. Okay, till I come your way again next week, Tuesday. Make sure you take care of your health and make sure you take care of your elderly ones. And the next program that you'll be listening to is Agbeloba from Onigege Wura. I call him Onigege of Gold. Okay, yeah, so we are the farmers. Gather around and sit back and enjoy Agbeloba. Till I come your way again next week, Tuesday. Bye for now.